Every time the internet comes together to theorize that Trump is dead, we're given a taste of hope. There are few things more unifying than holding onto the feeling that Trump may have gone the way of the dinosaurs. Every few months, we collectively wake up and decide that today is Christmas, and every few months, we're unfortunately wrong. But before the fact checkers inevitably crush our dreams, it's worth remembering why people react this way in the first place. This is somebody so evil that they have gotten off to separating families, inciting an insurrection, ripping healthcare away from Americans, facing multiple criminal indictments, and somebody who spent years undermining democratic institutions. So when rumors surface and millions of people suddenly develop an interest in unverified Twitter reports that you're dead, there's probably a reason why. And at the time of this recording, we, to be clear, are still hopeful. Thank you, Internet. Thank you, Internet, for a few glorious days. You made optimism trend. Memes were spread like wildfire. And people were convinced that Trump had finally somehow let go for good. Ding dong, witch is dead. Digital confetti in every group chat. We're planning the revolution. We're planning how we're going to walk out of work and just scream and celebrate in the streets. And this becomes collective therapy. And sure, we're leaning into the news commentary in a totally satire way, but this is a way for us to process decades of political absurdity through the time-honored tradition of believing what we want to hear. Memes let people imagine a world where problems solve themselves and the trash takes itself out. The internet's most reliable tradition of getting our hopes up for absolutely nothing. There's a historical precedent for this. Satire and dark humor have always been a tool for the powerless. Political cartoons in the 18th and 19th centuries took weeks to produce so that way people could whisper their dissent into coffee houses. Now we achieve the same cathartic release in 280 characters or in the 60-second TikTok video. And this reveals how we have dealt with this spectacle. There's relief in imagining that the removal of somebody who turned governance into performance art is a wonderful thing to imagine. People aren't so much celebrating his death as fantasizing the return of politics being boring, the kind where you don't wake up wondering what constitutional crisis has happened overnight. Memes about Trump's death make people think about their own mortality, legacy, and the radical concept that actions actually have consequences. Turns out when you spend decades being cartoonishly terrible, people develop opinions about your continued existence on this planet. Wild how that works. Here's the thing. Earning collective ill will, it requires genuine effort in being a shit human being. You have to really commit to being so goddamn awful in order to have an entire country staying up overnight, scrolling and hoping that you've gone the way of the dinosaurs. For a few brief hours, the internet collectively cosplayed as a news organization. The fact checkers are still working, but honestly, can you blame people for wanting to believe?